You just got paid, and somehow by Thursday, it's already gone. Not on rent, not on debt, just gone. You replay the week in your head, take out after a brutal day, a subscription you forgot existed, something random on Amazon that felt harmless at 11:47 p.m. Nothing looked irresponsible, nothing felt expensive, but the money vanished anyway. And here's the part nobody explains. This isn't a math problem, it's a biology problem. Your brain is reacting exactly how modern life trained it to react. And modern life is very good at this game. The average American spends $1,497 every year on impulse purchases alone. Not bills, not emergencies, impulse. And the biggest impulse spenders? Usually high earners. Educated people, analytical people, people who understand compound interest, still stressed every month, still checking their balance before buying coffee. That isn't a coincidence. That's a machine working perfectly. And the numbers get darker from here. Every time you feel stressed, your brain releases cortisol, your threat hormone. And modern life keeps cortisol running constantly. Notifications, deadlines, bad sleep, money anxiety. Your brain stops thinking long term. It starts searching for relief. And relief has never been easier to buy. Your phone, one-click checkout, food arriving in 20 minutes, a package showing up tomorrow morning. Researchers at the University of Cambridge found that financial stress directly weakens the prefrontal cortex, the part responsible for planning, for impulse control, for rational decisions. In plain English, stress makes you worse with money, then bad money decisions create more stress. So the cycle tightens: stress, spend, regret, repeat. And billion-dollar companies understand this cycle better than most people ever will. Think about the last time you opened a shopping app. You probably weren't celebrating you were exhausted. Modern consumer platforms are built around one brutal insight: a tired brain spends faster. That's why everything feels urgent. Only 2 left. Flash sale ending soon. Free shipping if you order in the next 11 minutes. Those aren't conveniences. They're pressure tactics. And the most dangerous part, your dopamine spikes before you buy, not after. Before, the anticipation feels incredible. Then the box arrives, and half the excitement is already gone, so your brain starts chasing the next hit. This is why willpower eventually fails. You are not fighting a small bad habit. You are fighting systems engineered by some of the smartest people alive to bypass your self-control. And most financial advice ignores this completely. Now, let's talk about the trap that catches smart people hardest: lifestyle inflation. You get a raise, maybe 10%, maybe 15%. For a moment, you feel ahead. Then your life quietly expands around the new income: nicer apartment, better car, more subscriptions, more small rewards. Nothing feels reckless individually. That's exactly what makes it dangerous. Because 5 years later, your income doubled, but your freedom didn't. You built a lifestyle that panics the moment one paycheck disappears. And smart people fall into this constantly because sophisticated spending looks responsible. Organic groceries, luxury productivity apps, a well-deserved vacation. It doesn't feel wasteful, it feels earned. And that's where the real wealth gap begins. Not between rich and poor, between people who keep their raises and people who instantly absorb them into their lifestyle. An $80,000 earner saving 15% often builds more wealth than someone earning $150,000 while saving almost nothing. The math is simple. The psychology is brutal. And there's another force quietly pushing spending higher every single day: comparison. Humans evolved in tiny tribes, maybe 150 people. Now your brain compares itself to millions daily. Researchers at Tilburg University found that upward social comparison directly increases discretionary spending. In plain English, seeing richer people makes you spend more, even when you think it doesn't. Your brain slowly recalibrates what normal looks like. And once that happens, lower spending starts feeling like failure. That's the trap. People call it upgrading their lifestyle. But often, it's financial exhaustion wearing expensive clothes. You keep spending to protect an identity, and stopping feels like falling behind. Now layer something even quieter on top: invisible money leaks, the streaming service you stopped using months ago, the gym membership you keep out of guilt, the app upgrade you clicked once and forgot. Individually, they feel meaningless. Together, they quietly drain thousands. The average American household loses over $2,600 every year to forgotten subscriptions alone. Gone silently, month after month. And the damage isn't only financial, it's mental. Tiny recurring expenses quietly exhaust your attention, and exhausted people stop noticing where the money goes. That's exactly when the leaks get expensive. Most people never identify the pattern. They just feel permanently behind. The numbers get even more uncomfortable from here, so stay with me through the full picture. And if this is already shifting how you see your finances, hit subscribe to keep building your wealth sketch. But there is a way out, and it starts somewhere most people never think to look. Your triggers, not your transactions. Before you track what you spent, track when you spent it. Did it happen after a brutal meeting, late at night, when you couldn't sleep, right after 30 minutes of scrolling, after feeling invisible or overlooked? The purchase is almost always the symptom. The trigger is the real target. And once you see the pattern clearly, you can interrupt it. Even a simple 24-hour pause before any non-essential purchase dramatically reduces impulse spending, because time gives your rational brain a chance to come back online. The emotion fades, the urgency dissolves, and suddenly the thing you had to have stops feeling necessary at all. Make your future self emotionally real. Most people treat saving like a punishment. That's why it feels painful. The future feels abstract, distant, imaginary, but behavior changes the moment the future becomes emotionally visible. Research from UCLA found that people save significantly more when they vividly imagine their future selves, not as a concept, but as a real person with real needs. Older, tired, wanting peace, wanting options, wanting the freedom to say no. Give that person a target, a number, a life. Future me needs $400,000 by 62. Make it emotionally real, and sacrifice starts feeling like protection. Automate the capture. Before your income reaches you, move part of it automatically. Savings, investments, emergency fund. Immediately, before you see it, before you can decide to spend it. No motivation required. No discipline required. Because systems beat willpower almost every time. That's how people finally escape the cycle, not through perfect self-control, through better architecture. Here's the uncomfortable truth. The system is not broken. It is working perfectly. For the companies profiting from your exhaustion, every notification fights for urgency, every flash sale fights for impulse, every auto renewal is designed around forgetfulness. You are living inside an economy engineered around reactive behavior, and the human brain was never built for this environment. But awareness changes the entire equation. The people who eventually build wealth aren't superheroes. They aren't more disciplined. They simply notice the traps earlier, the emotional triggers, the lifestyle creep, the comparison spiral. They see the machine clearly, and seeing it clearly is the first move. So here's the question that actually matters. Not about your income, not about your budget. This: if your spending habits were a mirror, what would they reflect back at you? Stress, exhaustion, comparison, loneliness, or intention? Because the difference between smart people and wealthy people usually isn't intelligence. It's the space between impulse and decision. And most people lose that space long before they lose the money. You already know enough to change this. The system is counting on exhaustion to stop you from acting. Don't let it. If this changed how you see money, subscribe to Wealth Sketch and give this video a thumbs up. And tell me in the comments, what's the one spending trigger you've never admitted out loud?